actually work, you lazy welfare slob. Maddow has predictably fawning reaction, verging on tears. It put a chill down my spine. It's great. Look at that. She's literally, she's legitimately, look at that. Look at the face. Look at these faces.
In this video, Benny Johnson covers MSNBC's reaction to Joe Biden's exit from office. Benny Johnson mocks hosts like Rachel Maddow and Joy Reid's max-level copium. With that, let's watch Benny Johnson literally LOL at MSNBC losing their minds over Sleepy Joe's unceremonious exit.
Even there, ladies and gentlemen, Joe Biden, who claims to be Irish, is doing the exact opposite of that. Joe Biden is having a very painful and excruciating goodbye, doing a bunch of degenerate and sad, decrepit things on his way out with the lowest approval rating of virtually any president in history. Biden has the lowest approval rating of his term as he's about to exit office. Poll showing that 36% of Americans approve of how Joe Biden handled his term as president overall. On the issues, Joe Biden is in the 20s on things like immigration and the economy. Biden approval rating falls and plummets as he leaves office, matches lowest of his presidency. What a photo, too. The guy literally does look like a Madame Tussauds wax museum statue. And that's the kind of ratings he's getting as he does a farewell address to the country. Final verdict is in. Experts reveal what grade Joe Biden deserves for his last speech as president. So Joe Biden got his, speaking of wax mummies, holy moly. Frickin' makeup shotgun here for Joe Biden. Yes, okay. A hollowed out man, grade C+. Here's what the historians are saying. Biden warned us, grade A. Yeah, right. He sleepwalking out, grade F. And guess who else was there? Not sleepwalking, potentially tweaking, though, is Hunter Biden. Running through the White House to hide little baggies of Coke everywhere is definitely Hunter. And Jill Biden can't stop being super creepy with Doug Emhoff, who she kissed on the mouth on live TV as she holds his hand for some reason. We're always scared when we hear that Doug Emhoff has laid hands on a woman, but maybe this is a time that it was consensual. We'll see. Biden claims that social media platforms replacing fact checkers and community news poses a threat to children.
I'm equally concerned about the potential rise of a tech industrial complex that could pose real dangers for our country as well. Americans are being buried under an avalanche of misinformation and disinformation, enabling the abuse of power. The free press is crumbling. Editors are disappearing. Social media is giving up on fact-checking. The truth is smothered by lies told for power and for profit. We must hold the social platforms accountable to protect our children, our families, and our very democracy.
Shut up! Shut up, you old jackwagon! Biden sits on pillow to boost himself during Oval Office address. Yes, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow. Without context, I don't know if I would have understand what Joe Biden was saying there. I caught like every other word, but, kind of pieced together what he was saying. He's worried about the tech industrial complex, huh? Well, he didn't seem to worry about it when all it did was prop up liberal propaganda and suppress the truth from the right. It wasn't a problem then, but now it's a danger to children. The internet is a danger to children in general. Drag shows are a danger to children. Not telling parents that their kids identify as trans is danger to children. Telling children that they can be a boy or a girl is dangerous to children. I never heard you speak up on any of those things. If anything, you took the quote-unquote dangerous side of that argument, you old bag of bones. Let me know in the comments if you have any idea what he means, how that taking away fact checkers or the tech industrial complex is dangerous to children. Of course, he didn't give an example. I don't know what he's talking about. Anyway, let's get back to the video.
And this is something that we discovered First, that Joe Biden was sitting on a pillow that also had a box of tissues there in case he started weeping, coughing, or hacking. There's the pillow. Ladies and gentlemen, here's Hunter Biden as Joe Biden talks about the dangers of social media and lying. How many lies has Joe Biden told about Hunter Biden, all the way up to him pardoning his son for 11 years of all crimes he may have committed in an 11-year period? How much lying has Joe Biden told about Hunter? Oh, I was never in business with him. I didn't know what he was doing. Oh, I never got any money. Oh, he's the smartest guy I know. He was never in league with the Russians or the Chinese, the Ukrainians, or Tajikistan, or the Iranians, and everyone. Oh, it's 51 Intel experts say that the Hunter Biden laptop was disinformation. Dude, look at this face. Absolute formaldehyde. This is actually what it looks like when they do open caskets for people. And they like paint them with makeup, right? And they're all waxy. Oh, so bad. Joe Biden gave us one final little chef's kiss here.
Address President Eisenhower spoke of the dangers of the military-industrial complex. He warned us then about, and I quote, the potential for the disastrous rise of misplaced power, end of quote.
End of quote. Gives one final end of quote there. He also blamed climate change for the wildfires. He said to Kamala that she is a historic vice president. I guess she's the first black female vice president to ever have to certify her own landslide election loss to Donald Trump. Just proving, ladies and gentlemen, that we were the first to spot this from this photo. There you go. I look forward to a president that doesn't have to sit on a pillow inside of the Oval Office. Ladies and gentlemen, Scott Jennings on CNN just gutting Joe Biden.
I think the way he's leaving office has been, frankly, pretty terrible. He's going to be remembered for a few things. But politically, it's mostly for when he was vice president, he and Obama sort of ushering in the Trump era initially. And then as he's leaving office as president, bringing back Trump and Trumpism stronger and more popular than ever. Today, Biden has like a 61% disapproval, and Trump is over a 50% approval and more popular, and his ideology is more popular than it's ever been. If everything you say is true, the Democrats should have had no trouble getting reelected in this election, yet they were.
It's an issue of a communications failure.
I know, and for Democrats, it's always been about communication and no introspection about the policies that led to him leaving office as one of the most unpopular presidents. When I watch this tonight, I remain astonished that he, his family, and other people around him thought he could ever.
Did that dumb person just say the Democrats lost because of a communication failure? I mean, I guess there was a failure in the fact that Kamala couldn't communicate a single thought, a single policy to the American public. She could talk a lot. She was great at talking. But actually conveying a message was a big, big problem. So I'll agree with communications failure on that. But more importantly, doesn't this line up perfectly with what we all know about the Democrats? Zero effing accountability. It's a communications failure. Never once has it been Kamala's fault. Never once has it been the party leader's fault. I am astonished. If you watch this channel with any regularity, maybe you're tired of me saying it. It's just relevant, though. They are allergic to accountability. And look, politicians are politicians. They lie. We all know that. But I'll say for Republican and Democrat, humility and authenticity goes a long way, man. Just say, hey, I got that wrong. I could have done that better. I learned from it. I'm going to be better in the future. Everyone is so scared to acknowledge wrongdoing or mistakes, not necessarily wrongdoing, but mistakes, in fear that, oh, they're going to use that against me, where every politician has plenty of stuff to use against them. You could absolutely, I say spin, but not even have to spin, turn an apology or an acknowledgement that you got something wrong into a positive and say, how many other people are honest out here when they make a mistake, you know? And I just want to correct Benny Johnson. I mean, he actually said it, but he suggested those tissues might be there for to wipe away tears. I don't. First of all, I don't think Joe Biden has fluid in his body to produce tears, but those are not what those. That's not what those are for. They're there because he's perpetually sick. I'm not saying this truly with any malice or glee. We're watching a man like die right in front of us. I mean, it looks when he's talking like it's painful. Like, they're like, all right, Mr. President, you just need to give us a good 10 minutes and you can go back to sleep. I mean, it's like he's in a hospice. And I'm sarcastic on here all the time. It's really what it's like. It's a sad thing to see. Like I've said before, it's essentially elder abuse. But if we have anything to say to Joe on his way out, as much as we want to criticize him, we can say thank you for one thing. Although it's unfortunate we had to sit through 4 years of watching this country go down the toilet and his incompetent leadership, it took him doing so poorly as the president of this country to bring Donald Trump back into the White House. It's like a relationship, right? You don't know what you got till it's gone. Well, the country learned what they had, and they knew that they made the wrong choice. So thank you for your awfulness, Joe Biden, so Donald Trump can come back and hopefully fix a lot of the crap that you screwed up. Anyway, let's get back to the video.
Run for another term. I mean, there's no way he could serve another 6 months, let alone another 4 years. The fact that they pursued that farce for as long as they did, to me, remains one of the most astonishing things about this term. So,
well done, Scott Jennings. Absolute bombshell. CNN, if you want to survive, maybe we'll have on more Republicans who actually say true things like what you just heard, or you can go the way of MSNBC and do this.
Taking a lot of time in this speech. They have spelled out the list of accomplishments in writing ahead of the speech. So maybe this speech is going to be for something else. Maybe this is going to be a warning. I did not expect it to be this stark. As you said, he said, tonight there is an oligarchy taking shape in America. Dangerous concentration of power in the hands of a very few ultra-wealthy people, a tech industrial complex that poses real dangers. He talked about a tide of misinformation and disinformation enabling the abuse of power. Not just saying misinformation and disinformation are bad on their own, but why are they there? They are there to enable the abuse of power. He talked about the free press crumbling, which put a shiver down my spine.
She's about to cry.
And then talked about how truth is being sacrificed for lies for the purposes of power and profit. So this is important because he has essentially decided not to brag on the way out about what he did. He did a little of that, but really he's taken this last moment to say, here is what we've got right now. And this.
If you like watching videos like this one, like and subscribe. We'd really appreciate it. Let's get back to the video.
This is why. This is not just dangerous because it doesn't sound American. It's dangerous because this is what they're doing to you with this oligarchy, with this concentration of power, and with what they're doing to the press and the truth.
Literally,
and that
on
is stark and sober and
way to
like I said, it put a chill down my spine. I think he's.
I put a chill down my spine. So chill down your spine because you have to come back to work. Rachel Maddow is now being dragged back to work, has to take a massive pay cut, and says if you want to keep your MSNBC job, as our ratings completely collapse into the center of the earth, then you're going to have to actually work, you lazy welfare slob. Maddow has predictably fawning reaction, verging on tears. It put a chill down my spine. It's great. Look at that. She's legitimately, look at that. Look at the face. Look at these faces.
Benny's laughter there is well placed. Look at these three losers on the screen. Ugh, it literally like kind of grosses me out looking at them. Do you see what Rachel Maddow did? She essentially just took talking points from his speech and was like, yes. All she does is just agree with whatever Democrat figures say. Who takes losers like her seriously? And here's a question. What possible return on investment could the network get from paying her that much? No one even watches the network anymore. I don't understand where the money's coming from. And lastly, she said he decided not to brag. What would he brag about, Rachel? I mean, she said he did a little, so I guess maybe he made up some lies and called them accomplishments, I guess. That's the only thing I could think of. But we want to hear from you. What do you all think about Benny Johnson's commentary here and these witches' pouty faces at CNN? Let us know Anyway, as always, we really appreciate you watching, and we will see you on the next one.